You do it sometimes.
Can I just add just a couple things before we move on? Is that okay? The issue that I have is that the U.S. has allowed the Justice for Palestine movement, the pro-Hamas encampments at universities, the professors who profess on campus in their classrooms at Columbia, at Harvard, at all of the elite institutions. They've allowed them to take over, whether it's because of DEI or because of whatever factions they think is appropriate, which has undermined the existence of the State of Israel. The State of Israel is in existence. It will live today, and it should live on forever.
How is America supposed to stop that? They've been doing that kind of shit since the 60s. They were chaining themselves to buildings to stop the Vietnam War. They've done all of this shit. Like,
way different.
How is it way fucking different? No, it's not. They're going against their own government.
Why are you saying it? Hold on.
Organization. They are not a government.
Don't.
Hamas is not a government. Hamas is not a government. The Palestinians do not have a government.
Okay, guys, can you please also tone it down?
Yeah, Josh, take a breath. What we're asking you for is a solution. So we know that the fact that there are professors spouting it on campuses is not something we like. But America's not going to, nor should they, shut down free speech. So, you keep jumping to these topics with no solutions.
Well, that's actually not true. They should shut down anti-American, anti-Israel acts.
So where are we backing that? It's the most anti-American.
Which includes organizations that are interested in divestment.
That's a terrible idea. It's absolutely that's the worst thing you said. You want to shut down free speech to save our democracy. I mean, this is Orwellian.
I don't think you understand what Obama did to our country.
I don't understand.
With the billions.
I don't understand freedom of speech or how that affects actual people around.
No, you are talking about the sanctions on Iran, not about free speech. Yes, there are things that you can do policy-wise, but you're kind of going to the extremes because
Iran is funding these groups that are going to.
I know, and this is what you need to do. To talk about Iran or talk about what?
They're taking advantage of every loophole that the U.S. government allows.
I understand.
Political speech.
TikTok is a horrible avenue. Horrible avenue.
Shut off for disruption of Americans to organize and say that kind of speech. The folks in Skokie, Illinois, were told they had to let these folks march down their street simply because there was an encampment which was illegal by city standards, which shouldn't have fucking existed, does not mean that Sinwar from Hamas is sitting in the middle of the Columbia campus. Therefore, not able to be shut down in the way you are talking about.
So
not legal in our country.
Marshall, I have a question. Just to hold up here for a second. So, Josh, you're willing to take the government and enforce it in infringements because it gets an idealism that you don't particularly like, and allow the government to have that power. Do you not see how dangerous it would be to have the United States political elite class, regardless, take the Democrats right now? Would you really give them that power to go ahead and do that? Would you really allow that?
I don't know, but you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say any of the things that you
said. But you just wanted to shut down.
But you're choosing to define whatever I was communicating as your words, and this is your opinion.
So maybe you define again. What exactly, and based on what? Maybe you can explain again if we didn't understand. Because we understood you want to limit free speech by basically shutting down people that don't support Israel, just because they don't support Israel.
Apparently, no one understands. People from Jersey.
Let me make it clear. Let me make it clear. The groups who are encamping on campus, who are not allowing Jewish students to enter their dorms, who are not allowing Jews to practice their own religion, that are
there's organizations that are doing it.
Wait, in Canada, they're threatening hundreds of Jewish institutions each and every day.
Yes, what should we do about it?
This is not free speech. This is
no, we know free speech.
Rights.
no one is saying that it's okay. Okay.
But they do get arrested.
Not okay. It's not okay.
It's like no one is saying it's okay.
But it's legal.
No, and it's not legal. It's not legal.
Okay, so
No,
Josh.
it's a mix of
I'll
stuff.
tell you why it's not legal. Because
Josh, relax a bit. But Josh, relax a bit for a second.
Josh, I never agreed with someone so much and was so upset at them. Like Josh, look, you're in a friendly neighborhood. Like, relax. If your argument is they should shut down illegal activities, no one's stopping you. But before you said shut down free speech, so now we'll have to shut down illegal activities. But next question is, who should be doing that? Because the federal government should not be sending in federal, like the army, to shut it down. That is local law enforcement and the college campuses. So we have to be very specific of who we're critiquing.
Yeah, but the leadership of our college campuses have let us down. The leadership in our communities have
Fine.
But which college campuses? Because like here in Arizona, they pretty much ended up gathering. And this was the first day, and what they ended up doing.
Red states
Yeah.
Wait, let him finish for a second.
Yeah, so they
Exactly. Red
cool.
states are not tolerating
Thank you.
the bullshit that blue states
Yeah.
are talking.
I
And
get
I
it.
am a Democrat. I am a registered Democrat. I
Wow,
love
Josh, you need to
but
drink
I
a bit.
can't
Take a glass of
stand
water.
the way that
Josh,
we are
Josh, please, honey.
Josh, you
Honey.
need to get out of your feelings for a second.
need to relax a bit.
Texas did not handle this in the way you think they should have. What Texas did was use restrictions that said you couldn't camp on the campus. The concern over the content of what their speech was, unless it rose to imminent lawless danger, could not be
Well, that was
arrested
the
by
same
the
thing
cops.
in
Those
Arizona.
hold on a second. Those
You
are
cut me off.
Hold on. Just give me a second. Those things are specifically set down in law that you can do that. Pepe, sorry, please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, basically, even Arizona State University couldn't stop them from gathering and protesting. They just said, hey, no megaphones. As soon as they put tents up, the cops took them down. They basically made it so that they couldn't be that, disruptive.
Yeah, and that was appropriate. That was what they should have done.
But they were allowed to say, fuck Israel, fuck Zionists. Sure, but they were allowed to say, fuck Zionists, fuck Israel, Intifada. They could say all that stuff still, and that was, I mean, do you have a problem with that? Do you think that should be criminalized?
Intifada is questionable, by the way. Intifada is a violent struggle. Yeah, I understand, but it is.
Not in America because it has
What I have a problem with, Pepe,
Josh,
is that
calm down.
the
If
media
you're calling
outlet.
for an intifada, as much as it's calling for violence, it's illegal in America because it's not even.
Thank you. Pepe, what my problem is that the media outlets completely side with the pro-Hamas protest movements. And that and on top of that, the fact that the U.S. government isn't aligning themselves with the fact that the pro-Hamas protest rallies are anti-U.S. They are anti-Westernization. They are anti-capitalism. They are anti-Westernization. That's what I am struggling with. I'm struggling with the fact that
in an election year.
I'm getting all the time.
But that's an election year. And
Yeah, literally.
Wait, the U.S. government
You're
has
allowed
aligned
to
itself
have
against the
Western
Hamas
bias.
protesters. It's only some of the leaders of the Democrat Party, for some reason you're a part of, who are allowing this to go on. But Israel, America as a government, has fully aligned itself with Israel.
which
Every day of the week.
I'm grateful for, but unfortunately, the tides can change in a given moment. And
I don't think so.
no,
To be honest.
I'm sorry, but if you look at Europe, if you look at the UK, and you look at France, and you look at all of our allies in Europe and the way that they're responding to Israel right now, it is a concern of what will happen here in the U.S.
Josh,
that's different though.
You have to admit
They
that.
have much higher Muslim population.
This is
Without being interrupted,
You
this
went
is
from
amazing.
telling us that
Continue,
America should shut down free speech, to they should impose laws, to America's not a line, and then when that wasn't even factually validated, you said we should be afraid of what might happen in the future.
Israel.
America is fucking compromised.
Israel
Joe Biden
only
is
democracy in the Middle East.
All right? Just imagine if Obama said, "Yo, I'm Muslim." All right? That's like Hamas's ideology, making it into the
You want to have this
IEC.
conversation with it real quick? I get where you're coming from. Just like
No. I want to be able to finish. Please let me
No,
finish.
I can say whatever I want.
Daniel, please.
No, sorry.
Please let me finish. It's important.
Josh, you do realize you're not going to solve the world's problems no matter how emotional or dramatic you make it, right?
Actually, it's enough we have noise. Like,
The reason why I'm so passionate about this is because I'm worried.
You're a show.
I've been to Auschwitz 7 times. I've been to Sobibor. I've been to Treblinka. I've been to Prague just in the last 15 years when neo-Nazis rushed me to my hotel. I understand what it's like to be a Jew all over the world. And Jews all over the world are rejected. They're told that they're not enough no matter what. And the U.S. continues to back Israel. But because Europe has had such a lenient view on immigration over the last 25 years, and the fact that Israel is a true democracy, where in the next 10 years, the Arab population will be more than the Jewish population.
No.
It shows me that there's an issue. The issue.
no, Josh, I'm sorry. You're taking Europe and you're kind of saying, okay, copy paste to everywhere, and it's just not true. I didn't stop you in the United States, but when you got to Israel, you're just wrong. I understand your fear. I'm not saying that you're completely like irrational. I understand where it's coming from also. I'm just thinking that you're kind of putting a broad, like a, how do you call it, a broad stroke, whatever what Mayo said, on everything.
But I think
There
that when you look at
so Josh, here's my issue with you, because I think your heart is in the right place. You're still passionate, and I think you're passionate for good reasons. But you got to think of like a clearer argument. If you're arguing for something, say what you're saying. If you're afraid of the future, say that. If you want to enforce laws that are on the books, say that. If you want America to apply international pressure, like just you're all over. Like I don't know if the message is getting across where your heart is. That was my entire critique.
But Josh, I wanted to tell you though about the immigration thing. I feel you when it comes to Europe. Now you can see how like with our election, even the Democrats have remained silent because one of our swing states, Michigan, has a large Muslim population. Now you can imagine what it's like in a country like France, where their percentage of their Muslim population is way larger. I get it, but I don't really see that being nearly the same problem with the U.S. due to the type of immigrants we get. I mean, Muslims are less than 1% of our population. And I hate to, I'm going to have to dig into a trope a little bit, but I mean, we do know that a good chunk of the donor class is Jewish here in the United States, for both parties. I don't really see the U.S. becoming hostile to them.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, can I?
Yeah, but Pepe, what percentage of donations are Jewish? It's like 20%, 30%. You don't even know the fucking numbers, Pepe.
20 or 30% significant.
I gotta say that from the outside, to hear you talk about like money that buys your values is a bit sad. I gotta say, for like if this is how you see the United States, that whoever pays you buys your values.
Every
I don't know.
nation is like that.
Well, that
Brad. Maybe I think you're projecting.
Politics.
I think you're projecting.
Really? Hold on.
Yes.
No, the U.S. that's how it is.
The U.S. that's world currency policy. What we say, like Europe, you don't have to worry about what Europe's going to do.
I can tell you. You know what? I can
Daniel's
I
operating
can tell you that.
autopilot.
I can tell you that on Israel, it's not.
Israel. So the second you
Hold on,
mention money,
it's-
right, and we're having a conversation about Jewish people,
Malcolm,
this
I was
autopilot
talking to Daniel. Why are
activates
you
to
even jumping?
suppress the narrative. Suppress the narrative.
Danielle.
I'm just saying it's not about corruption. I'm not saying there's corruption anywhere. I'm talking about buying values, and the reason the United States is with Israel, one second, the reason that the United States is with Israel is not because of money, not because of contribution of Jewish whatever. That is not the reason that the United States is an ally to Israel. It's because of shared values. And I'm thinking that if you think that it's because of donors to money to politicians, then it is said, you're not talking about corruption of one case, you're talking about a system that is corrupted. And
it's not corruption, it's legal. All groups do it, but we're all special. But Adelson ended up donating $100 million to Trump for his campaign, mainly because of Israel. Like, it does.
Again, I want to say, folks are only playing stupid, right? Because we're talking about the Middle East. There's nowhere in the world that money does not influence politics. And when you spend millions of dollars on a campaign, right, to afford someone a seat, you effectively purchase the policies.
Okay, let me say it again, because this is against strawmanning. I was just saying one sentence. I was saying one sentence. I just said, I was talking about buying values. Not that politics and money are not involved. I'm talking about buying values. That's it.
Yeah, I just want to... Wait, hold on. Can I
In terms of the coordination, Josh, I'm going to just power through this, and I'm just going to talk over you and get louder.
Yeah, can I just make a quick point?
No, you can't. You can wait till I'm done. So...
No, wait, Josh.
I'm going to tell you this, and this has happened. 60% of the global countries all around the world are under some type of sanctions. At one point, they either had treaties or they were aligned with America or they weren't, and we go through. Only like a small, less than 1% have ever come off the sanctions or have come off any kind of, punishment by the U.S. going forward. The U.S. definitely dominates the world in terms of this, and if Israel bucked the trends, let's just say Bibi said, you know what, F you, the U.S., and blah, 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 and went their pathway, and Iran's like, hey, we're going to behave down, and we're going to open up, and we're going to cement relations, and we want to be pro-America, and they waved the American flag and wiped Daddy Biden's rear end. The U.S. would definitely go ahead and do it. It would depend on who's in the power dynamics at that way. So to say that yes, there is alignment between Israel and the U.S., I don't see that going away at this point in time because of the best amounts of coordination, cooperation, but it's at the need or the want of the United States. That's what you guys did wrong.
What was mentioned, I think, was Pepe. That it was talking about the donors, and the donors is the reason for the alignment. If you will have different interests, I don't know, the geopolitics change, I get it. Or no, we change, we become like a radical Jewish state, like religion, I get it. But I was only talking about money to politicians, donations, buying values. Only this. This is my only point.
Yes.
I'll
Our
say
government
this.
is purchased, the policies are purchased. Okay, the politicians are all broke, compromised. Vivek Ramaswamy, he was exposing them all. I think he exposed Nikki Haley. He said before she became a military contractor, she was filing for bankruptcy. After her little term, all right, she walked out with hundreds of millions. Well, I'm lying with the hundreds of millions, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay, so that's how politics works, unfortunately.
There's a big difference between hundreds of thousands and
moving their
Can you
money
mute your mic
through the
when I'm
government.
talking?
I mean, I have to admit, this is... No,
Israeli lobby has always had huge influence, and a lot of it is in my... They make sure that politicians advocate for Israel. They, you just look at how... If you look back to 2016, and it's really weird when you look back at it. If you looked at a lot of Republican campaigns, they would say, Israel's our greatest ally, which they aren't. They never have been our greatest ally. We have other allies that are much older and much greater to us. They may be our best ally in the Middle East, and that's it. But
I'd like to respond to that.
Why? Sure. But when you have like,
how
for
do you
example,
define great? Great is just an opinion.
Sure. Well, I'd say France were at number one. I mean, if it wasn't...
I get it. Anyone can say whatever they
Israel
want.
provides more intelligence and military intelligence to the United States equivalent to what the CIA or the NSA. I don't believe.
But they're not our closest intelligence
France
allies.
is not as good an ally as to the U.S. as Israel is. I'm sorry.
No, AUKUS is actually much closer to us. AUKUS is actually much closer to us. The Five Eyes are actually more aligned with each other, and then Australia, UK and the United States are actually have the
In what
closest
way?
relationship.
How do you measure? In what,
They
like,
share
what is your
information with each other. They would never share with with Israel. So
Israel
that's
is
not
sharing
true.
information with the U.S. that no other.
But let me ask you a question, though. But let me ask you a question.
Listen,
Let me ask you a question.
Pepe,
Just
your
because
anti-Israel bias is showing.
I'm not anti-Israel. I'm a Zionist. I'm a fucking Zionist. What the fuck are you talking about?
You said a lot of anti-Israel content.
We're not
We're not going to have defamation here. Pepe is let me know. But I see you, Pepe. All right, but don't defame him. For the Israel hater that you've always been. And when you let me talk,
I'm not an Israel hater.
We want to tolerate this.
I'm not an Israel hater. That's ridiculous. I'm actually Zionist. I'm pro-Israel.
And you don't even know it. When you're ready to let people talk, I'll show you how you're wrong. Thank you.
Okay, Pepe, I was just trying to understand.
Into a bow really quick.
Yeah, just I wanted to understand from Pepe. I don't care about personality. Personally, like, why do you feel this or that? I'm just trying to see what is the parameter in which you will decide who is the greatest ally for the United States. Is it about, like, what is the parameter? Because anyone can have an opinion. It's fine. I mean, one could think Israel, you could say UK. What is the parameter, like, that people are talking about? I don't think the Israel.
I want to say something that
Sure, I would say number one, I could go to France because of what they've done for us.
Okay, you want to go back to 250 years? I get it. But there are all this fucking ally.
Pepe.
250 fucking years. Yeah, because we're allies.
Pepe, we know you're Corsican. We know you're Corsican. We know you're Italian, Pepe, but please. Cálmate, por favor.
Okay, so we are not going to do we are not in a fruit market, and we are not in peasant house. So we're going to talk civilly or not talk at all.
No, Pepe, you're on your tip. On your fucking
So, but Canada has been Canada has gone to most wars with us. UK has gone to most wars with us. I believe I said the UK. Australia has gone to many wars with us. So we can look at the Anglosphere countries first of all. They've always been our allies.
I don't need a long answer. So basically, the answer, according to you, is the people that go to war with you.
That's one of them, and even trading partners. Israel's not our biggest trading partner. Like how? By what metric are they?
They are great
partners. The military.
Our military's better in the fucking world.
Okay, I think
Israel was the UK.
We have the best fucking military in the world.
Guys, I think at the end,
Israel was the Ukraine before Ukraine. It was a refugee state.
I'm just saying at the end, it's a matter of opinion. It's not fact. What is the greatest?
Going on in Europe. Yo, what's up with you, Dan?
Iron Dome is invented by Israel.
Hold on, guys. Wow, guys.
Not Australia.
Listen, guys, hold on. It's a big question.
You my mic, but you
hold on. Wow. Okay, here, unmute everybody, okay? Ish, so, 1 second. בבקשה, Ish. Okay. It's a matter of opinion. Now we're doing kind of dick measuring contest. It's not a factual what is the greatest ally. So I'm not sure, like, you can talk about it. I'm not sure we have, like, a definite decision what is the greatest ally, because it's a matter of opinion. There is no...
What if I told you that there is a metric? The
metric is absolutely a metric.
The U.S.
people
military
who serve
rely
our
on and
interests
value
The UK and Canada.
You
guys have never, militarily, you guys have never gone into a war with us. You've never shed blood for American soldiers, period, for an American war. The Israeli, you guys didn't,
my friends.
You guys literally haven't. Israel has never gone into a war with us on our side.
Randy, you're literally the Ukrainians before the Ukrainians, okay? You guys are a panhandling state. You need a $3 billion
every year. Israel makes like $300
Yeah, you are way off on that, Pepe, because Jewish war veterans of America, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of Jews have died fighting for America.
Gone into a war.
Every Jew
is part of Am Yisrael. We're all one.
I don't give a shit. I'm talking about the IDF. The IDF has never gone. The IDF has never gone into a battle. A foreign war with the United States
in Iraq. We destroyed.
That was an intelligence operation. That's a fine. Amazing.
Israel hasn't done anything to benefit the United States.
Yeah, they spilled blood. Yeah, they spilled blood, didn't they?
Iraq would be a nuclear power.
Daniel and I
Iraq would be a nuclear power today.
Guys, Daniel and I are gonna dash out, so I'm passing the torch to Brad. And Brad, you do your room, you mod whoever you want, and everyone.
Are you guys smashing? Are you turning him straight?
I wish. I
Listen,
wish, but
Randy,
we're not.
don't be mad because
The U.S. destroyed, Israel destroyed military reactors.
We told you to be a good
Okay.
Be a good
Join with the U.S. That's one operation. Tell me where you guys were, where the IDF was in trenches.
and put you in your place.
Okay, Eric, here, he said, tell me how she's turning Daniel straight. I want to know this.
Well,
Dude,
he's
who
in
cares? Don't
Germany.
derail.
He's in Germany with
why
his
you
husband,
derailing, bro?
and I am in
Talk about
Switzerland.
Because we are leaving, Marco. We just say goodbye-ish. Like you could go back to your campfire.
God.
Go ahead.
In the morning for us. So
Take these 2 minutes and roll something. Take a roll.
I'm in love with both of you. You guys are just getting me so happy.
Lisa, will you DM me on
Alright,
Instagram?
good night,
Should we tell them? Should we tell them it's a no? Not yet.
No,
After
no,
the
no, no. Call
after the
it
examination.
for a little bit more, yeah.
But I guess the question I want to ask
Mazel
is
tov, mazel
He said, don't tell them. You don't tell.
mazel
Good
tov.
night,
okay,
guys.
amazing, you're derailing. So the question back, I guess, is with that. Okay, thank you.
Normal,
Brad.
shut your asshole, please, Jesus.
So everybody, so when they would say Israel's our greatest ally, for example, Republican campaigns, when Turning Point USA would say that, tell us by what metric should we have ever bought into that shit? How can you say they're our our greatest ally?
If you let people talk, I will.
No more. What's going on? No more. Hold on. What's happening? Like they're trying to talk. What's happening?
The guy has Tourette's. He's slow. He's mentally challenged.
I know, will you guys shut the fuck up? Jesus
Try
Christ.
to behave, guys. Thank you.
I don't call her.
I'll say it.
Okay, sorry.
The biggest military partner of the United States is Israel. The military intelligence that Israel provides is equivalent to the NSA or the CIA. Israel destroyed nuclear reactors in Syria and Iraq. All USA, the #1 training place is in Israel. When the USA sells military systems to Israel, Israel makes billions of dollars of improvements every year. When it came time to build the Iron Dome, they did. USA and Israel did it. So listen, I can't go back 250 years ago and talk about the Revolutionary War. I'm talking the last 20 years. And that's all that matters for this conversation.
No, it doesn't. Actually, we look at World War I, we can look at World War II, okay, we can look at the Vietnam War, we can look at who were the countries that ended up shedding blood. Yeah, exactly, they didn't exist. In other words, there have been countries where they have lost tremendous amount of lives fighting side by side with the fucking Americans, okay? We've always had more trade with other countries in the fucking Anglosphere. We're ethnically the fucking same, and you want to tell us that you guys are somehow our greatest fucking ally because you guys had hackers that could end up fucking up some subterfuges in Iran. Give me a fucking break. How brave and valiant. That's fucking stupid.
Shout more. It's so effective when you shout. Keep shouting.
But no, I mean, you guys are saying something that's obviously patent bullshit. It's patent bullshit. Israel's our greatest ally. My fucking ass. That's stupid.
It honestly triggers you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, but you're right. 100 years.
Shut your asshole.
But you guys are kept afloat by the United States. What the fuck are you talking about? You guys need us. We don't need you. What the fuck are you kidding?
Before Israel existed, it was not a good ally. Pepe is right about that. Before Israel existed, it could not be a good ally.
After it existed, where were you? Where were you? You guys didn't fight in the global war on terror. The global war on terror that lasted 20 fucking years, where you had Bibi Netanyahu. Hold on a second. You had Bibi. Shut up, Malcolm. You had Bibi Netanyahu come to our Congress in 2003, telling us why we should invade Iran. And guess how many soldiers the
fucking bullshit. It's pitiful. In fact, you had Muslim countries that fought along our side that did a whole lot fucking more than the IDF did. So give me a fucking break.
Got this screaming fucking white man.
So tell me why Bibi Netanyahu encouraged us to invade Iraq, and yet he sent none of the IDF there to fight for us. Tell us how that's a good fucking ally.
The world also.
Tell us how that's a good ally.
Intelligence.
No. Bibi, don't blame the Iraq war on Bibi, okay? My friend.
Well, no, I'm saying that he encouraged. I'm not saying he's the reason I'm not saying that he's the reason that we invaded. I'm not saying that.
Shut your nasally ass voice up, son. Nobody want to hear that shit.
When I muted you,
You're super annoying.
Mike. Like, let's stop.
So let Pepe stop
can
support
have
so we
the
can
argument.
see what a hateful idiot he is.
I'm talking.
Yo, Randy.
I'm talking. Don't interrupt me, because I will not engage in the argument, because apparently I'm now the fucking moderator, so this means work. I'll let you two have the back and forth, but stop screaming. The audience has asked for it. Make your point, allow the rebuttal, and go back and forth.
Pepe is right that before Israel existed, there were other countries that were bigger allies. I conceded that. So he doesn't have to go back 50 or 100 years ago. I'm talking the lab.
Yo, Brad, do me a favor, bro.
In the last 20 seconds. The same thing. Here's the rule.
100 years ago. Yo, Brad, do me a favor, bro. Can you make a queue? Is that possible?
I don't need to make a queue for grown-ass adults. Just make your
but niggas not behaving civilized, bro. Obviously, you had to interject.
I don't care. Stop crying.
Yeah, so the biggest problem that happened was,
Josh,
in 1990.
first off, there were like 3 other people ahead of you. First, it was Randy making his counter. Pepe wants to respond to that. Ish wants to go in, and Norm chimed in. So why don't you wait until at least those 4 guys go, and then you can give your contribution.
I appreciate that you called it a contribution. Thanks so much, because I thought it was something different. Thanks a lot.
The only thing I was going to say is, we did not. It is not my belief that we invaded Iraq due to Israel or Bibi Netanyahu. However, we do know Iraq was, I believe, like funding the Martyr Fund or whatever the fuck in Israel at the time. They were a pain in the ass for Israel, and Bibi Netanyahu did, come to our Congress and say, hey, yeah, you guys should invade Iraq. That will like help really stop the spread of terror throughout the Middle East. Yada yada yada. Now, okay, so we'd had the global war on terror. It lasted 20 years. All of our allies went to war with us. Our usual allies, the ones. Some of them were the ones that were with the United States in the Vietnam War, such as Australia and New Zealand. I would say, well, this ally, they literally send men. People end up losing sons.
Oh, you owe me $150 for Adrian Dittman.
For, in wars with us.
It's in the news.
I'm sorry, bro.
Can I cut you off?
Pay me my money, leprechaun.
The IDF never served.
I want my money, leprechaun.
When the U.S. went to war against Iraq, because the first.
I want my fucking money, leprechaun.
In the 1990s, when the U.S. attacked Iraq,
this is your punishment.
Saddam Hussein.
Till I get paid.
Actually,
I want my money. I want my gold coins from your leprechaun pot.
Join that coalition and send troops to Iraq and send military to Iraq. It was Israel. But the U.S. told Israel, stand down, because we're building a coalition of other Arab countries. This was the early 90s, before Israel had all these peace deals that Trump made. So in the early 90s, Israel was forced to stand down in that particular conflict. But the notion that a country that has mandatory draft, where everyone is a soldier, that they don't shed blood for their cause, or for the same causes of the U.S., is a blood libel by Pepe.
How's it a blood libel? How's that a blood libel? I didn't say the Jews kill anybody. That's a blood libel. I didn't say the Jews kill anybody. Who are you talking about?
But Israel not only goes to war, but they destroy the military. He's ignoring it. This guy is ignoring what Israel has done. He's ignoring how many lives, how many sons are dying in Israel today. Don't lecture us about sons dying, okay?
If you guys dropped off the face of the planet, we would still be the great fucking empire that we were before Israel was created.
Charlottesville. However, if we look at what happened on 9/11, why did Osama bin Laden issue a fatwa against the United States? He even said it in an interview in 1997. It's because we supported fucking Israel. So in other words, we get war brought upon us because we support our greatest fucking ally, who never fucking ends up fighting with us in any fucking war, that we have to give funding to every fucking year. Okay, that's not the greatest ally. Like, that is silly.
It took this long. I suggest that you are really not capable of debating Israel. You're way too emotional about it. You're operating on a lot of hateful premises.
I'm not. What hateful premise? What did I say that was wrong?
Premises.
What hateful premise?
Your premise is that they hate the U.S. because the U.S.
I never said they hate the U.S.
That's your premise.
No, you're mistaking something. Israel's our ally. No, Israel's our ally. However, I think the notion that they're our greatest ally is absolutely fucking laughable and patently fucking false.
I know.
That is my. Now, they're obviously an ally. That's why the United States does business with them and has a close relationship with them.
Okay, you're going back 250 years, and I conceded that Israel didn't exist then. So in that.
I mean, because they ended up writing some with the Stuxnet, they write a fucking code or whatever, and somehow gets into the nuclear facility, and they shut that down. Okay, there's one military thing they did. Oh, they give them a bunch of money, and they improve upon some of the military equipment. Okay, intelligence, amazing. Okay, but how does that make them? How does that make Israel?
Gentlemen, I just want to remind everybody that Pepe is a boxer and he has had his head bashed in for many years. So please have compassion on this Corsican boxer whose head has TBI. He's got bad TBI, this guy.
Can anyone else possibly? Is that possible? Can anyone else contribute? All right, thank you.
I can. Thank you. I want to talk about, so what was Brad's issue? 30 years. Who's after Brad?
Because there was a chain of
Who's after, I don't know, Pepe? Who's after all of the screaming that Pepe? What was the two you had, Brad, what was the two that you had? What did you have? I had Randy, Pepe, and then Randy, Pepe went, and then I believe Ish, and then you guys. All right, so I'll go next. Thank you. All right, so here's the story. Today, through some coincidental turn of events, Israel has emerged as United States' greatest ally for a number of reasons. Reason number one is that the greatest threat to the future of the world is Iran. And Israel has the most intelligence and penetration of Iran on the planet. So by necessity, the Gulf nations and the European nations and the United States are allied to prevent Iran from blowing up the world. Israel has numerous agents on the ground, as you saw when that Hamas guy, what was his name again? Hania, got blown up a couple weeks ago. Israel can literally reach out and take out any of these terrorist leaders that it wants to. In intelligence-wise, the Israeli and American intelligence are so enmeshed that they can only be described as inseparable at this point. There is, even if Kamala says she's going to do this or that, which of course she's not going to do, there's no way to disentangle them. Militarily,
Are they closest? Are they the closest intelligence community to the CIA? Because they're not. I can prove this.
You went already. I'm going to talk now. Take some notes. Respond when I'm done. Militarily, the United States takes all of its greatest weaponry, sends it over to Israel to field test it, because as you know, the United States is not involved in any wars. Israel field tested shortens the length of the development by 5 years. The very best fighter jets, the very best drones, which by the way Israel developed, the very best defensive systems like the Iron Dome, which you may be surprised to learn protects 17 countries. 17 Western nations have the Iron Dome developed by Israel and the United States together.
the U.S. Gave the Patriot.
You guys have F-35s that
hang
were
on one
created by
second. Hang on one
Americans.
second.
Many
Pepe.
countries have F-35s.
Pepe, I'm teaching you stuff. Just write down what. Stop talking.
Pepe is triggered. He can't control himself.
Right. I mean, he probably doesn't know this stuff. By the way, I know the guy who wrote the code.
That too, of course.
For the Patriot missile system. I grew up with him by some weird coincidence. So at this point, yes, Israel is not only does it shed more blood fighting terror, which is obviously the number one threat to world today. I can't think of any other one. Russia is kind of
terrorists that attack you, not the U.S. That's fucking
Tell us about the Suns, Pepe.
They didn't attack the World Trade Center. Maybe he didn't.
There's no sons dying in Israel.
That's not our war. That's your war.
You probably didn't hear about the World Trade Center, but it was a pretty bad thing. That's how terrible.
Yeah, the World Trade Center. And why did Osama bin Laden declare war against the United States?
Right.
That's why he supported
Israel
Israel.
for that too, Pepe.
No, I mean, I'm being serious. I'm not blaming Israel. But you want to tell us how you guys are a great ally and all the value. Answer this one question. Do you think that Israel is a better ally? Do you think Israel is a better ally than the UK?
Comparable.
It is comparable.
Israel currently provides more information for sure.
Hey, I just said this. Don't come off mic. Don't do it. Like, adults, there is literally 7 of you on stage, or 7 of us on stage. Literally 6 of you. You can have a conversation. It's not that hard.
My mic has a...
Okay, so I listed the many ways in which Israeli intelligence and Israeli...
What the fuck happened to the queue?
I listed the many ways... I haven't finished. I listed... Excuse me, Ish. Stop. Be quiet.
The next speaker.
Shut up, I'm not finished. Shut the fuck up. I'll let you know when I'm done. When I'm done, you can go.
Are you dumb?
Shut the fuck up. When I'm done, I'll let you know. I'll go, okay, I'm done. Okay, I'll say I'm landing it. Okay, that's how you'll know. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. So I just listed a bunch of ways in terms of intelligence. Shut the fuck up or we're going to send you out of the room.
No. It's so far.
Mute up. Shut the fuck up. I'm not finished. You can go after me. You gotta add up the fuck up. I'm talking to you. What were you doing? Shut the fuck up. I'm talking to you. You carry the mic. Stop standing behind. Mute your mic. It's long time. Should have asked a bologna sandwich. Roll your joints or something. Okay, that's how the room is gonna work. I just listed all of the ways in which Israel is. It's time for your bologna sandwich. When I'm finished, you're gonna be banned from these places.
How's it working out for you? It's not working out well. Learn some fucking man to respect.
It's time for you to mute up. Mute up now. Thank you. So these are the ways in which Israel has become a better ally. Excuse me, Miller.
You want to start over?
Excuse me, Ish.
You don't want to start over.
Ish, excuse me.
These are the ways. You're trying to start over. Just be quiet. Well, I'm trying to just be quiet.
Shut the fuck up, Ish.
No, suck my dick. Okay.
No, you don't have one. You don't have one. You're a virtual. Okay, thank you. Anyway, so
I'm not rabbi.
Excuse me.
Like the rabbi.
It's time to be quiet. Thank you. Mute the fuck up. Thank you. So these are the ways in which Israel's intelligence and military are inseparable from the United States at this point to face the world's biggest threat to peace, and that is, of course, Iran. This is true of the European Union. This is true of the Gulf Arab states. This is true of America. I'm sorry, there's no longer any separation between Israel and the United States militarily or in terms of intelligence. It provides, as I think Randy mentioned, 5 times. Excuse me. It's time for you to shut the fuck up. Thank you. Israel provides you don't have one. Israel provides 5 times the value of the CIA or the NSA.
Okay.
It's incomparable value. By the way, Israel's economy is $525 billion. The United States gives about $3 billion, and they get 5 times the value of that. Israel gives more to the United States, perhaps, than any other country. So now, if you can find your unmute button, you may go. Thank you, guys.
All right, finally, the idiocy is done. So, you know, you guys were trying.
No, now I'm going to talk about issues.
The idiocy
now I'm going to talk about issues.
Okay.
No, now I'm going to talk about issues.
No,
now I want a bologna sandwich.
Hey, start over.
Now I want to have a bologna sandwich. At the end of the day, go ahead, Ish. See how you like it. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying?
All right, so you got a guy named.
Ish, go ahead. No, Ish, go ahead and say. I want to hear what you have to say. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I eat a bologna sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Ish. I want to hear your contribution. Why are you muting up?
I'm actually a significant contributor, unlike some people.
What do you have to say?
If you learned, if you rested your neck.
At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I like to have a bologna sandwich.
So can I just say something then, Malcolm? So, what I find really...
You can say something, Pepe, respectfully, because I want to speak, and if they go put the respect with your Dave, it's going to have to give me. So,
I wasn't talking over anybody.
I felt that vibe, Pepe. I felt that vibe. But I feel like I had a point, and you about to stress some shit, and next thing I know, they feel like they going to stress some shit, and my point never going to get made. So we just going to have a moment of silence until something get figured out, or it's just going to be chaos. Or maybe tomorrow going to have to be tomorrow.
I'd just like to say...
Well, you're learning on the fly, man, so I get it. You're like Googling shit right now, right? Pepe didn't know a lot of things, so I imagine you're learning.
I've heard all of these talking points before.
Pepe, respectfully. All right?
Come on, dude, you're not even saying anything. Hurry up.
Y'all being shut. No, I'll slow the fuck down.
Pepe doesn't know that Israeli armed soldiers lose, the people that they died too. He thinks that they don't die.
They died for what? They died fighting on behalf of the U.S.'s wars or for their own war? That's a different thing entirely.
Do you understand they're fighting the same enemy? Do you understand that jihad is
really is Hamas? Hamas may hate the U.S., but they're not attacking us.
Weird terrorist coast like left to horse sucking baby dicks.
Understand?
Well, all right, that's what we understand. We understand.
I don't know. Sooner or later, it always comes back to female, to mutilation of babies. He's got this weird obsession.
Pepe, aren't you glad you're not as big of a schmuck as Malcolm?
You're always talking about this. At the end of the day,
Pepe, what do you think is wrong with Ish? And Pepe, what do you think is wrong with yourself?
I don't know, but I just wanted to say the only comment I've made, and I've said this comment before, I've always felt that it was personally insulting to hear a country that I feel like where we have older allies who have always been closer to us.
Dude, you've been going on about that for an hour now, Pepe. It's pathetic, bro. Move the topic, change the category, man. Are you really gonna hold on? Are you really gonna repeat yourself 10 times? For Christ's sake, Pepe, go back to Corsica, go back to France. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Amazing. Okay, but my point was, I don't think they're our greatest ally. I never said they weren't an ally or that they're bad for the U.S. But to hear it, but it's telling. It shows the fragility of a lot of people here. They immediately turn anti-Semitic because I don't feel Israel's our greatest fucking ally.
Jesus, Pepe, you're making this an issue out of thin air. You're ridiculous.
UK's our greatest ally, and I say, nah. It doesn't mean I hate Britain.
Pepe, America's greatest ally is America. What is wrong with you?
They will not have a room in peace.
What did I say that was anti-Semitic?
Between oldest ally and greatest ally. I give you that. France, England, those are old allies. Current great allies, Israel. And I hope we tried.
And Pepe, yes, you have an opinion too, and he has an opinion, and I've got an opinion, and Brad's got an opinion. We have these things called opinions. Are you going to sit here and scream at us for 20, 30 minutes, 40 minutes about the greatest ally? When are you going to bring up the USS Liberty?
Canada is closer, but it's not a better ally. They are closer to the U.S. Physically, they are closer. I give you that. I'm not sure if Australia or Israel is closer. Depends on what part of the USA. Those are all closer allies. But now we're talking about qualitatively better allies who deliver more. And I'll put Israel there.
But you don't think that when it comes to that.
America's greatest ally is Ireland, the Irish Republic, and I'm talking about Ireland, not the Northern Ireland. No, Ireland has always been the greatest republic and the ally of America, Pepe. You're wrong, Pepe.
I'm saying subjectively, I just don't see it.
All right, Pepe, it's okay.
Saying that Israel
Okay, but that wasn't why we talked to you.
Okay, then why am I an anti-Semite? Go ahead. Tell me what I said that was anti-Semitic.
The United States has a terrorism problem in good part because it is so closely allied with Israel, not the other way around.
Pull up and let you see or whatever, talking about central bank digital currencies when he was. So this guy next became the prime minister after this, and this was quite a few years ago now. And when you read the news article which accompanied it, they talk about making the currency programmable. So, which is insane because then that means they can maybe decide, hey, you can't spend this money on blah, or this money has an expiry date. You better spend it or it expires. You know, like, or
Sorry, I'm going to call you anti-Semitic.
I never said. When did I say that?
That's what they want. That's what the terrorists want.
I already said I'm a Zionist.
The terror on Israel.
When did I blame what terror on Israel? I said you made a claim that we're fighting the same fight, but I can say, well, I mean, to be fair, Hamas is doesn't have the capability to come and fight a war in Europe or the U.S. So they are fighting you guys.
Iran is.
Okay, this is called Evening. Is that my coach? My coach is here. My evening personal trainer. Please help me with my mind and help me with my body.
Hello, it's Coach Niddick.
It's my coach. Ooh, Elon Musk is live. Elon Musk is live. There's only 35 people in here.
Put the convention on. Hey,
Man, fuck. If we get a feature request, we gotta, add additional, customizable soundboard to Spaces on desktop.
That'd be awesome,
Now that I think about it, I think I can actually customize my own soundboard. I'm gonna build it. I need the source file for the Yes Mommy thing on Discord. So crazy. We should always get it.
Zach probably.
When I did First Blood, which was an accident, I was the 11th choice. Nobody wanted to play the part at all. It had been around for 4 years, and I thought, in the original, John Rambo gets his head blown off because he's so savage. And I said, if you just change this a little bit, he's not a bad guy. Then I realized, by accident, I did my first action movie. And I said, no one's doing this. Charles Bronson had gotten older. I said, this is an open field. I don't have to compete with, all these other actors. So that's when I really started to focus in on and say, all right, I want to be a specialist that deals more in the visual aspect and, something that can translate into every language. And that's how it happened. When I did one of that, now.
So what's been happening?
Not much. I just been playing Diablo.
What's been going on?
I'm playing Diablo. I got the grandfather sword. That's pretty cool.
Nice. Good stuff. I'm sitting in a car here in the sun, eating a bunch of wraps and shit. With some weird ass fucking coffee milkshake, whatever the fuck this is. It's not so sweet, it's kind of
This guy's a billionaire. He's sitting in a Tesla eating like a pig.
You do some shit while I drive. So I'm gonna need all the weird fucking, like, you know, enhancing substances that you can imagine. Plus, I'm not at my place where I can usually eat what I want to eat, so fuck this.
So Elon Musk is eating in his Tesla like a pig.
Why the fuck they add paprika to this shit, man? God damn. I guess alright, but like, I'm a creature of habit.
Aren't we all?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Zach says he doesn't know, but he thinks his friend might have added it, so I think he's gonna try to get the information.
Cool.
Shit, but you ain't no fucking.
It's a scary place to be.
Prep is the safe and no. And warm. My father says that.
Great battle is imminent. We're gonna have to do some GitHub research on Discord, so I can figure out where the source file from, get it directly. And then afterwards, we can have a live stream. We're gonna have a show. I'm gonna say,
Mommy, look, I'm a handsome mommy.
you know? So, yeah.
You sound exactly like Arnie right now.
Huh?
You sound like Arnie right now.
The baby version, or like, what are we talking about?
There's some general correlation between Arnie.
Oh, like this right now?
No, now it's a little bit more you. But just a few minutes ago, I could like really detect Arnie.
I could swear we are to California. We are going to fuck up San Francisco. Does that work?
Yeah, my Arnie circuit detector circuit went like in the override.
Let's search for
By the way, did you see Arnie spotted in Toronto on the bicycle?
I didn't see that.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah. Does he like live there, or like what is he doing in Toronto, bro?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he has like a condo there or something.
No. Could all be.
Like a lot of movies are shot in Toronto, so.
Oh, I wonder why. Like, is there some sort of legislation or some shit? Like, why is that?
I think it's just cheaper. And like, you know, the Resident Evil, I think, was shot there. Like, and a bunch of other high-profile movies.
Resident Evil is like a weird movie, man. All of them.
I like the games though.
But the thing that confuses me most of all is the fact that people were complaining about the black zombie. Because, you know, there was a zombie outbreak in Africa. So, of course, you know, some of the local population was zombified. And somehow that caused a meltdown on social media. I'm like, it's fucking Africa!
Yeah.
Delicious. Sorry, I'm having like sparkling water and like a milkshake at the same time with caffeine in it. Like, this is the worst combination ever. You're like having all substances that the body's not necessarily used to. It's literally crack cocaine to me.
Wow.
Like, oh shit. I even value it with the same kind of like, you know, criticism on my behalf. It's like,
doing this, Adrian?
Mm-hmm. You know, like when you get up, it's 4 in the morning. You have to because of an appointment, and and then your body's like,
I'm sorry, I can't do that for you, Adrian.
like fucking hell. But it's your consciousness, bro. Oh, sorry, it's not your consciousness, it's the limbic system. My bad. Mm-mm. Oh boy, sugar do taste good. I swear, whenever I eat stuff like this, and I'm like doing maximum food intake, just like as quickly as possible, I start to understand the orcish nature of a human. Because holy fuck, man, I'm eating like an animal. Like I'm burping and I'm doing all kinds of weird shit. I'm like consuming stuff. This is like really a not dignifying position that I'm in right now. Like this is so weird. Me, things is like as social as I get with